Today's video is about YouTube collecting your information and being able to use it for AI or anything else they want. In order to look at a certain video, I would have to share, that is used in scare quotes, with a Google partner and or Google, neither of which is ever going to happen. My email address. Now obviously Google and YouTube have a copy of the email address, and this is the umpteenth cocksucking time I've verified this. I verified my age so many times on both channels, and this has been a standard practice they've had to make sure you're not under the age of 13. Every time the European Union or Australia or some other goddamn entity decides to make yet another rule to do exactly the same thing, corporations then use this as an excuse to gather information they can sell. They're not doing it to verify your age. They're not doing it to clean up the mess that is the suggestion box. The only way to clean up all that garbage AI suggestions you keep getting on your YouTube video feed and get rid of things that are not just questionable but potentially illegal to advertise, but YouTube and Google refuse to clean up their act, is to run uBlock Origin or an ad blocker of some kind. There, I said it. Now my channel will get flagged for criminal behavior. I'm telling you to avoid having shit on your computer. Remember, you're held responsible for everything the corporation does. If they do something that ends up being stuck on your hard drive, even if it's erased because it's an temp file, if it's found later on the hard drive, it will lead to an investigation of you if somebody used some very questionable shit in an advertisement that somehow magically can't be erased from your computer because they need to track you. But anyway, here are your options if you want to get the poor man's YouTube Gold account. That's a 4chan reference. Google partners, or just Google, or anybody they're affiliated with a contract that you can't change, but they can change anytime they want, subject to change without notice. And implied consent, because if you read through the blurb on it, it says that you're giving consent for them to do whatever the fuck they want. Every promise they make is garbage because they can just change it later. Okay? Here we go. Give them my email address. Again, they have it, but they want consent for a specific thing. They're going to use it to check online databases to see if my email account or email address has been used or misused or just typed by random generating it to do anything on the internet they can find a problem with. No, they're checking to see if you're a grown-up. No, they're not. Again, this is the umpteenth time they've confirmed I'm a grown-up. I didn't suddenly age backwards to be a 14-year-old. Oh, God, let me do that. Get rid of all the mechanical and medical damage I've had in my life. Next, a passport image, driver's license or government-issued ID. Well, what else would you get if you stole my wallet? A credit card and then the implied consent that goes with it when you're dealing with a multi-billion-dollar company that can just ignore laws and get away with it. There's nobody going to get prosecuted. They'll get a fine. $1 million fine for a multi-billion-dollar company doesn't mean shit. The credit card with its implied consent and stating you won't be charged, but a transaction fee will be fully refunded. Now, what this is done as, if you're not aware of it, I used to work at a company that did the phone service. It's called a test transaction, and it's run through by charging you a penny and then refunding it. And it creates more money for the bank that gets paid by the company that wants to do it. They have to pay like 3 cents so that they get their profit out of it, 33% or 33 1/3%. And you don't get charged for it, but it's to confirm you have an account that they confirmed was for a grown-up. And this can be done as a blind transaction, meaning it's just an account number. That means you can get any credit card to do it. You can get a gift card that legally is considered by the banking system to be a Visa card with an unconfirmed identity, which for some reason they thought that was a great idea at one point. And you can actually get one of these gift cards and get it confirmed as you're a grown-up by having a bank acknowledge it's controlled by a grown-up. But they want you to put your name on it and stuff, and they want you to set up an account because every bank is about you setting up an account because they want to say they have X number of people and they want you to give a minimum amount to them so they have some money in a slush fund. But anyway, that was a tangent. But the idea here is the bank will confirm your age. You know what else confirms your age? Your ID. You know what else confirms it? Your email address. Well, no, your email address cannot possibly, because people can just sell an email address to someone who isn't supposed to be on the internet because they're too young. That's actually happened. There are clumps of email accounts out there, old ones, that have been around so long, it's literally impossible to claim the person operating it is under 18. Because these are accounts that were set up 18 plus years ago. So everyone do a 21-year-old account. That means you just have to find an account that's from like 2002. That was when the email account was started. Person says, this is my email account. All they should check is, how long has this email account been in place? Which is an anonymous piece of data that can be extracted from, not all, but most. Yahoo started allowing that to confirm, yeah, this account's like 20 years old. Okay, you're grown up. They don't need to scan your email inbox. They don't need to scan the internet database to see what shit has been attributed to you. Again, if someone receives your email, they have your email address. They can use that email address to fake confirm stuff. And if the website doesn't really do anything other than let them get away with shit posting once without you confirming on your real email account, that bit's attributed to you. That's why you get spam and junk mail, because websites will say, submit your email address to prove you're over 18. Well, all they're going to check is ask the Yahoo or Google, is this account more than 18 years old? That's all it has to do. Yes, that's it. And they'll accept that, even though that person had no right to your email account. This has been happening for years now, ever since email has been over 18 years of existence. One of the oldest ones at CERN has been used so much for confirming porn accounts that they closed it, or put in a responder that says, I'm only 12, and just left it that way, just to screw over millions of porn hongs. So, again, here's what you're allowed to submit that sounds like someone taking your wallet. Your passport, driver's license, government-issued ID, credit card. Email address. That seems like the least nasty one. Now let's talk about the worst one. Do a selfie vid. It's not a picture. A selfie vid for a 3D model of my face, so they can do deep fakes of me. But why would, obviously that's what will happen. There's already enough data for me doing this to make an image of me. Except with the lighting I'm using now, it makes it to where it never really quite works. Oh, by the way, there are flock cameras everywhere scanning everything. Your Ring camera is by law being plundered for data because it's considered non-private, so the police department scans the data. And we're all a little bit better off for all this surveillance, aren't we? Right? You best be believing in dystopian futures. You're in one now. We're in an era where we have an actual Gestapo working for our version of Hitler. Obviously, this is happening. Unless you're an extreme contrarian, reality-denying conservative that believes it's not happening because it's not going to happen to me. Watching all the farmers lose all their money and people getting fired all goddamn day. Unless you're a complete fucking moron, meaning you are a Republican and you're still a true believer, both. Unless you're one of them, you already know you're in a dystopia. Why in fuck would we do this, Google? So no, even if the video has useful data, I'm just going to look up the title for the video and find it uploaded someplace else that doesn't do this to me. Dear European Union and dear every other country, including Australia, that pulled this shit. And also dear my own legislature that decided to de facto make an entire class of weaponry illegal without actually saying it, because that was the point. Literally subterfuge to get a law through. Literally doing what people said you were going to do, that you said you'd never do. You know, sounds familiar. In that case, it was the Democrats. Dear all of you assholes that are causing this problem by just being told, be afraid. You're not solving anything by putting age restrictions on the internet. because everybody bypasses it. Again, all anybody has to do if they have an old account is flush their email account completely, leave it fallow for a maximum period of time where there's nothing going in and out except maybe spam, and keep erasing it. And get it removed if you want to. You can use the delete me or whatever it is that you're going to find in the next ad in the next 5 minutes on YouTube to erase that email address from everybody's database. It won't work, but it'll say you don't want it used. Clear your account and then sell it to somebody with some falsified data in it to where it has like, a random string of characters and numbers or just characters that are roughly pronounceable. So someone has an email account that's over 18 years old and then sell it on the black market. And that's what people do with it. They just buy older accounts. Thousands of accounts were set up by people who were trying to use them to do whatever and ended up just keeping the password and the email address and the login for it. And people sell those on a regular basis to brokers, and people buy them for untraceable money so it can be a grown-up account. That's what people are doing. And the thing is, the fucked up part about it is, it's not people doing this to prove that they're grown-ups that aren't grown-ups. It's grown-ups doing it because they don't want anything associated with their history. It has to be a clean account. It can't have been used for anything that's worth tracking. It should show not porn lookups, but somebody just trying to read the New York Times or something at one time and then unsubscribing after they were done for a year or so. The whole point of this is none of this is ever about for the children or to stop the deaths or whatever. It's always about the same fucking thing. Making sure that you have zero privacy, not for what they're going to do today, but what they think they might be able to get away with tomorrow, and definitely for selling your information. So no, I'm not going to do a 3D scan because YouTube and Google could easily just, if you haven't noticed, one of the many reasons I do videos like this was because I just submit any one of my videos as the video. Last time they did this was years ago. They wanted a person to look at the video. They would mute it, and they just said, make a video showing all sides of your face. So I did a video that day, this is years ago, where I did that movement. You might see me do those movements in a sequence. It's so that every one of my videos could be used for this, without me giving consent for whatever they put in the fine print, because I'm not a fucking moron. As for the driver's license, the last time I tried to do this is years ago, when they were doing Google Plus and pulling the same bullshit, they rejected it. Sent in my passport, they rejected it. Perfectly clean image. You know how I got through it? I put it in Photoshop and faked it. Oh no, I'm not saying you should fake your ID. By the way, how are people they're faking their ID? A lot of passports and government-issued IDs and state IDs, especially driver's licenses, have holograms on them you can't get rid of, which means they won't take them. However, if you fake one, they'll take a fake ID easier. What was the point? So they have plausible deniability with the European Union and the Australian government. Every one of you in Australia and every one of you in Britain, every other country that pulled this shit, I'm going to forward this last part. Cut off now. Dear everybody in European Union countries, Australia, or anywhere else that has decided to implement draconian privacy-violating rules, get up your dead asses and put people in power to force a public vote. Do you want, down with this sort of thing, do you want all of these draconian measures eliminated? And then you'll find out whether or not you have the right to overrule your leaders. Not from excuses or arguments, but them just refusing to follow your instructions. And then get out the guillotines and take care of it. Because we're going to have to do that here in the United States. And that's the end of the clip. Clip that part. I will allow clipping the video. It's the only one that I really am accepting it. But again, they want my email address. They already have it. They want a video of me so they can make a 3D model. They're looking at one no matter which video I put up. They want my credit card. They're trying to track my email address to see where it is in database. Are you doing the same thing with a credit card? Or how old is my account? Some people have accounts so old that the account is over 18. It can buy a beer. But they still want you to confirm your age. Hell, if they didn't kill off all my original accounts, this wouldn't be a problem. Oh, a manufactured problem by a corporation they wish to solve by doing something else problematic? Never heard of it. Anyway, me sharing with Google partners all this information will never happen. But if I ever do it, I'll totally submit a perfectly valid ID again. I'll just go dig up the same picture because the hologram made it impossible to do it without photoshopping it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll all need it.